This video will show you how to customize patient tracking inside of your provider account. Once logged in, click on the Account button and go to Settings. Under the Settings, one of your options is Customize Patient Tracking. Click on that tab. Here, you'll notice that you have all of the settings that are currently set for your account by default, such as weight, hips, waist, chest, body fat percentage, and more. There are actually 13 default metrics that we track in your account unless you turn them off or add more. So if you like, you can turn off any of the metrics that you don't want to track. For example, many providers don't track hips, waist, and chest measurements, or calves, arms, or thighs. So you could just turn those off with one click and leave those out and save your changes. Now you'll notice in the patient interface, if I go to my other browser, the patient obviously has a place where they can track those items. So if we're in a patient account and we click on Track and go to the Body tab, we have all of those metrics that are trackable by default, plus any that you may have added in the patient account. But if in the provider account I save those changes and don't have hips, waist, and chest, arms, thighs, and calves checked, you'll notice if I refresh my browser when the patient logs in the next time, or the next patient that logs in to track, they'll only see the metrics that you've left in your account, plus any that you've added. So going back to the provider tracking customization screen, you can see here that if you wanted to, you can also add custom metrics. Now we've already added in this account A1C and water weight, just as some other examples. But to add a new one, all you need to do is click on Track Custom Body Metric, put in the type of thing you want to track. Let's say you're measuring the patient's ability to exercise in their VO2 max in the office, or they're tracking it somewhere else. You can put that in as a trackable metric, and that will now be trackable by that metric each day by the patient. So again, going back to the patient account, if I refresh the list, I now have VO2 max, and I can track that as well. And you can do that for any metric that you like, as long as you have a title that you want to give it and a unit of measurement that you want the patient to track, or that you want to track inside of your account, because you can have the patient track metrics as well as have them tracked in your office as well. In addition to customizing the tracking of body metrics, you can also customize the tracking of activities. Now by default, your account is going to let you track, or have the patient track, exercises, steps, sleep, and water. But if you want to track something else, and it can be anything that you can think of, so get as creative as you like: coffee consumption, meditation, anxiety attacks. I added a couple silly ones here: binge eating, or just sets of resistance training. You can do that here, and you can put that in and put in any unit of measurement that you like. And it's basically one measurement per day. So we'll put in naps per day. We'll save that, and then if I go to the patient account and click on Track Activity, you'll see that here I've got my default steps, sleep, exercises, water intake, and then anything you add to that will stack up in little blocks where they can track those activities as well. So if I refresh the browser to bring in that new tracked item, you'll see the activity here is added, and I took 2 naps today, and I can store a log for that, and that's all visible inside of your provider account. So that's how you track, or I should say customize, the tracking of metrics and activities in your provider account. To reiterate one more time, from your dashboard, click on the account settings. You'll land on My Profile, choose Customize Patient Tracking, and you can add or subtract any of the activities here that you want your patient to track in terms of body metrics or activities.